What's up, guys? Thanks for watching the podcast. I truly appreciate it. I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe from you. That helps the YouTube channel grow. And I wanted to drop in and remind you one more thing. If you have any friends, family, or anyone you know looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please have them call me. Get in touch with me via email at blake@blakebaker.net or on Instagram at blakebakerrealestate. Enjoy the episode. Welcome to the Under Contract podcast.
See, Money in Houston, you ready?
Cut the beat off. I'm ready for acapella. We about to get it going, dog.
I'm gonna give you a chance.
45. Let's get it, bro.
You gotta blow my mind.
Hey, check it out. Look, 20 years. Happy 20 years to Shady 45. See Money. Man, I'm rapping.
All right, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. This is a highly anticipated one so far. I've already posted this to my story, and I received resounding applause for my guest. Is this your third or your fourth time?
I think it's fourth.
This is number 4.
It's 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Estrada, a.k.a. Z-Money.
Streets are talking.
Man, so you've been on Fox News, bro.
Fox News, CNN, ESPN Radio, ETC.
And then who's the stock guy?
The stock guy is Jim Cramer.
Yeah. So let's just jump right in, man. We got a list of things here. I'm not going to go in any necessary order, but I think this is going to be a juicy topic for the people. That one of the things that people have brought up to me.
Okay.
Lala.
Lala.
So who is Lala?
So Lala, man, from what I know about her is she started out in radio, if I'm correct, and she's just a big Houston icon. She does a lot of promotions now, from what I see her, and does a lot of like a content creator. Mm-hmm. Really awesome woman, and I'm lucky I had the chance to get to meet her when we did our interviews. I think I was on my second or third interview with Isaiah Carey. She was the one who was always like kind of, I wouldn't call her a co-host, but she was the one who would like do the interviews with me. So we did this one interview that was like really good. I think it was talking about like dating in Houston and and how it's not the same how it used to be. People have so many options and social media this, social media that, and all this other like cool stuff or whatever. And so what's crazy is, and this is where the internet gets crazy, and I'm going to get into it because people think, oh man, he's on Isaiah Factor, like he's getting his following up, like that is so awesome. And pros and cons, it's not what it's made up to be, because the next time I had seen her, I had no idea. So we were talking pretty much behind the scenes. We had like a good 10-minute conversation, and she had brought up to me, she's like, do you have a baby mama? And I'm like, and this internet's crazy, man. And it just goes to show you like your past can just come back to haunt you. I'm like, nah, I ain't got no baby mama. And she's like, man, I had a woman messaging me saying that, be careful with him, yada, yada, yada. DM'd her saying, be careful with him, yada, yada, yada. I'm his baby mama, and he didn't really treat me that well. And I was just like, what? And she got over 500K followers. So she's like, I don't know. I think she's trying to find the message, but she couldn't find the message. But I'm like, the internet is just so wild. And it's like nowadays, I think people or the audience is so used to like, if you take a picture with someone, they think that there's just something like behind the scenes, and that's like not what it was at all. Like me and Lala, we're good friends. Like Lala's cool as shit. Like I remember I wanted some Astros tickets that she was giving away, and I ended up DMing her. I was like, hey, you mind if I could get those extra 2 tickets? I don't got nothing planned for today. She's like, yeah, I got you. So she ended up like hooking it up, and that was that. But it's just like, man, so much stuff like goes behind the scenes as far as like, you know, it's just a picture and then people will take it out of context. But yeah, that message was crazy. And a lot of people don't see, they always see like they see the fame of it. They see they see the goodness out of you being on TV. But I will say, like, number one though, man, is it comes with a lot of haters, and even the haters will be like your closest people to you. But if you go through those YouTube comments, man, there's some things that they don't have nothing nice to say about me. I mean, Lala was getting some hate too. There was some other people that they were hating on, and I was just like, man, like, because these people, you can't just like click on their profile and see like where their website is. So,
well, the internet, people are looking for, it's nothing. It's not about you. Right. So I posted this video a couple days ago about the Galleria. You see that video?
Yes.
Dude,
yes,
so
yes.
that thing's up to 100K views. Dude, it's like it just caught fire. So every time I open Instagram, I have like 3 or 4 new followers, comments. I mean, it's up to like over 1,800 likes now. I don't care.
Yeah,
but okay.
yeah.
So, but my point is, there's people that are like, so I made it a big deal. Like, wow, look at this, from 1944 to 2024. The Galleria basically went from a hayfield to what it is.
Yes.
That's insane. Like, it's crazy. Oh, wait till bro finds out about the rest of the world. Wait till bro finds out about other cities. And this one dude was like,
oh, so your comment page is going crazy.
yeah.
Huh?
And this dude was like, this one dude was like, wait till bro finds out Houston was built on a swamp. And I'm like, I was like, okay, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
I was like, and I troll him. I'm like, oh, bro, you mean like the whole city is built on a swamp, or like just parts of it? I try to like get in with them and just keep the fire going.
Exactly.
It's entertainment to me. It's funny. But that being said, if you have any sort of following, you could post like a picture of you and your son, or like a wholesome ass picture like that. There's no way you could find anything negative. They'll find something negative.
No, exactly. And I'm just like, man, what is all this for? I didn't say that. And that's something I had to quickly, it bothered me for a good solid week. And I'm like, look, if I'm going to continue to be doing this, I can't let this get to me. And I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. And I'm just going to leave it how it is.
Absolutely.
But, no, shout out to Lala, man. She's a really good woman, and one of the coolest women I've ever met in some recent time. And shout out to Isaiah Carey too, just for, repeatedly having me on. I sometimes feel bad because just with work and other things, like they think like every time that they send me something that like I go up there, sometimes I have to reject stuff because I'm like, nah, I can't do the best at that. Like when I go out there, I want to give it 100%, but I want to make sure the topic sometimes is going to be something that I can talk clearly on, as to something I could just go and just half-ass on.
So Lala, how did she become famous?
That would be a question to ask her. I really don't know. But I can tell you one thing, that her personality is just a 10 out of 10, and I know she can adapt really, really well.
Okay.
Like there was someone
she's a saleswoman.
Yes, there was someone behind the scenes, and he's just kind of giving off I don't care if he sees it. He was kind of giving off a little weird vibe. Then after he had left, I'd messaged her. I was like, hey, sorry about that, dude. She's like, no, I'm used to it. And I'm just like, all right, I'm pretty sure, like, and I'm the same way. If I get somebody like kind of like a weird vibey thing, I can adapt to, because I'm such a people person, and I can deal with different personalities and stuff like that. So it's just what comes with going on these interviews, and you're talking to so many people that you could just like, all right, he or she's a little weird, but I'm going to know how to handle this. So, but no, closing out that dating topic that we were talking about, it's vice versa. I'm not here to say anything about women, but what we were talking about was just nowadays it's, and I actually did like a survey on it, and the survey came back like negative, but we were just talking about how it's just, people in their 30s, they're, men and women, they're just trying to, they're always going for that next high, the better. And stuff is happening, and y'all know what stuff I'm talking about, but like stuff is happening. I got hate on this too, but stuff is happening too soon, and people just don't want to like get to know each other more. Stuff is happening too fast, and then they got 2 other men on the side, or the guy got 2 other women on the side, so he can't like stay focused.
Oh yeah.
And honestly too, with the social media and the dating apps, they're constantly with like the same thing every other day, and they could be meeting somebody new, and
There's
it's
so
just
many options, especially if they're an attractive woman, bro. They have way too many. I mean, not it just is what it is, right? You can sit here and complain about it, or you can do your best. At navigating it.
Which is so, and I'm proud to say, actually, this year, 2024, has been one of the years where I have literally like caught myself as far as just being focused. Yes, it is one of the hardest things you do, but when I mean being focused is getting off the dating apps, not like going out there and just, I got to take this woman home tonight, or I got this one. Just relax, enjoy yourself, and the good things will come. And not to bring religion into it, but I think God will see you that you're doing good and you're trying hard to be the best man that you can possibly be. And I feel like when you are doing those things, great things will happen. But it was like 2 months ago, I had and I don't care if she sees this either, but I had a best friend that me and her used to be cool. She's like, oh, hey, like, I miss you. Hey, anytime you're in town, just text me. I was like, all right, cool. There was something going down. I think it was like a Rockets game. I was like, hey, what you doing? No text back. And I'm like, what the hell? You just said you missed me. I guess you don't miss me. And I was just on some friend shit. And and I'm just like, it's just all jacked up, man. But I'm not the guy to complain. I'm like, man, I was wilding out, and I had some great ones in my 20s, but I chose not to take that serious. And I'm just I'm gonna deal with the cards that I got dealt now, and just kind of go through it from where I'm at now.
We'll keep this in mind, man. People don't know this about me.
Yeah.
One of my passions is not passions, but one of the things that super, super, super interests me is human psychology. Why we do things.
Me too.
Why we do what we do. And especially when it comes to dating and like what you ever see like a guy he's ugly, but his girlfriend's like a supermodel
all the time.
It's like, what is that?
All the time.
But she texts you and she's saying, hey, we should hang out, this and that. Here's what that could have been. Just hear me out.
I'm hearing you.
So she maybe was bored, didn't have much going on, maybe feeling a little lonely, texted you, and then by the time you texted her to actually, like she said to do, she was not as lonely or not. Basically, the point is, with women, a lot of times, the way they feel one day, you can't make the mistake of thinking that they're going to feel the same way the next day, because their brain doesn't work like that. Like with men, we're generally like, if we feel a certain way, we'll ride that out for a while.
Ride the wave. Yes.
Yeah. So that's just how it is.
Nah, man, you got to get one of these days, man. You got to get deeper on that, because yes, you have brought that up on another podcast. And I remember you talk about, I was like, man, this dude really, really like knows the psychology behind it. So, because I think I was saying something about women. You're like, dude, they run on some emotions, and the emotions just change.
It's so far out of our realm.
Yes.
It's way far out of our realm. It is interesting, because you probably took that as how any guy would.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, let's go to the Rockets game.
Exactly.
And then, but a lot of guys will make the mistake of being like, oh, she doesn't like me. Well, blah, 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 blah. And then not understanding what's behind that behavior.
Exactly.
So, but when you understand it, now you can just say, like, I don't know. She didn't text you back at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So then maybe she'll text you later, but don't text her until she texts you. Trust me.
Yeah. It's whatever, man.
So, all right, let's see what else we got here. We already talked about Lala. Cutting toxic people out of your life.
Oh yeah, man. It's a good one. I never thought I'd be the one to say this, but it sounds kind of bougie, but in my own way, as I'm getting older, I'm just like, man, no, I kind of like this. And somebody brought it up to me at the casino. He's like, you be hanging out with a lot of people that have money. And I'm like, nah, you're just catching me on my good days. But I thought about it. I was like, man, nah, he's right. And it's different, because the way we go about life, man, I think people feel entitled to where if they have known you for anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 years, they feel entitled that maybe behind your back or even to your face that they can, talk mess about you, or
they have access
to you, and they know all your stuff. So they can kind of hit you when it hurts, when, punches get thrown. Not actual punches, but you know what I'm talking about, right? When arguments get thrown. So one thing that I have learned is I remember in the no names I'm going to mention, but as I was, it just seems like every time that I feel like I'm making like a major change, it's like that stuff cannot stay perfect. Like there's a pro and con when it comes to it. And it's like the stuff around you starts changing too, as far as like people around your circle might not like that you're succeeding in an area where they don't want you to succeed at.
Crabs in a bucket.
So
you ever heard that?
I haven't heard that.
So crabs in a bucket, whenever one crab finally gets a claw over the edge, the other one's pulling back in.
I like the, what is it? Loose lips sink ships. I like that one. I don't think that gets brought up too many times, but I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I could go back on my, I'm just going to use this as an example. I don't think there was like one person or two people in the circle. They didn't really like the fact that I was succeeding with like 2011, 2012 with the whole workout thing and just like coming out of nowhere. And I'll even admit I didn't know how to handle the attention at the time because I was just receiving so much attention from the opposite sex where it was just like, oh my God, this is awesome. Because you're talking to a dude who's like, yeah, I'd be a woman here and a woman there. But like when you were just working out and you're just in tip top shape, you're a young 22-year-old dude out the gate. You're just like, wow, this is like a different world. This is awesome. And then that just gets you more addicted because you're seeing the results. But I noticed like one of my friends, and actually was one of my best friends at the time, and I would just notice stuff how he was just like, man, I'm used to like, you know, being the top guy right here, and now I'm all of a sudden seeing
he feels threatened. This
dude, you couldn't have said it any better. And then he sees this dude, meaning me, just coming out the gate out of nowhere, receiving all the attention. I'm gaining the confidence. I'm no longer that dude. To where it goes, they want you to stay the same. They don't want you to keep like succeeding at stuff. And one thing I was always like, when I was in my younger 20s, I always wanted to keep the same people around me, whether they were doing bad or good. So when the friend was like, nah, we don't need to be friends no more, it hurt me. Like it really, really hurt me because I was going through a lot of like emotional stuff. I was very, very emotional in my like early 20s. And so that had hurt me. And as I started to grow older and started reading books, I was actually went through a phase where I was studying like human psychology. Why do we think this? Why do we think that? And finally, dude, I got to the point to where I could, like at 27 years old, I can control my emotions. And then I started really like finding myself of like who I actually was. And when I like just seen and I could kind of see it from a mile away, but I just kind of wait till it happens. But this is something actually that DMX said: trust people to be who they are. Like as soon as they're showing you who they are, you just got to trust them who they are.
Believe them when they tell you who they are too.
Exactly. And it's like there was one friend that I cut off, but I knew from a fact, like I knew when we were going at it, I was like, oh, we're going to have a fallout because of this. And it's like I could kind of tell the future a little bit. And unfortunately, that is what happened. I don't want to go too much into detail, but right. The main part of this is it could be friends and it could be girlfriend. I'm not going into wives because I don't know marriage lifestyle yet. But what I'm saying is people want to hang on and they just want to hang on so tight. And they just don't want to let the other person go. But when you let the other people go and you don't look back and you continue to do what you do and you actually see yourself thriving and they don't really linger in your mind, you might have that linger for a week or two, but when you keep on thriving and you see yourself like actually doing a lot better, that is a great sign. Don't look back. Just keep on going forward, because when you do cut off those toxic friends out of your life, you're going to succeed even more because they're leeches, man. They're constantly trying to bring you down, whether you know it or you don't know it. It's just energy. It's energy. So when that's gone, all you have is nothing but good energy. So, and you're very, very focused, because if hopefully those people in your circle got a lot of stuff going on, y'all are building together. Y'all are talking good things. It's not like y'all are talking just BS that does not matter at all.
Yep. That's an excellent point, because, me, for example, when I first got into real estate in 2017 was my first full, I got licensed in late 2016. So I don't even count that.
Okay.
But, the people that were in my life at that point, it was a lot of distraction.
Yes.
There's always a distraction. And it's an energy. It's like an energy vampire.
It
like
is.
Those people are. And it was very hard for me because I wanted this success in real estate more than anything.
Yeah.
And I felt like these people in my life at that point were just pulling me the other way a lot of times. And even like you said, almost like talking crap about, like, oh, you think you're this, you think you're that.
Yes.
That's insane because they're supposed to be on your team, right?
Yes.
And as time went on, and that last part of your 20s is a really weird time because you're kind of clinging on to those last little parts of your youth. You still are young and energetic, but you're starting to realize some things. You're starting to realize how the real world works. You're starting to realize who your true friends are. One thing I realized is just stop talking to everybody and see who talks to you.
Yeah. I heard that one.
Those are your real friends.
I like that one.
Those are your real friends. And it was probably around 2020 when I was, hanging out on weekends and it was nothing. It was just kind of like partying and stuff. And, there was a lot going on at that time, but I got some people, I put some distance between me and some people and got a couple other people completely gone out of my life that are just poof gone. It's crazy how that happens.
Yeah.
And then, got my circle in order and was really able to just concentrate on real estate. And I was a single guy around that time.
Yeah.
And then this shows you how important the right partner is because I met Kelsey at Chicago Title. We, obviously the first thing that hit me was, wow, she's beautiful. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, she's smart. Oh, she's works at a title company. I'm in real estate. This is complimentary. Like she's going to help me move forward in my career that I want to succeed in so bad.
Yes.
And she's a good person. Like I've never seen her. This is crazy. I've never seen her drunk ever.
Wow.
You would think that you would maybe just one night, like on a New Year's or something. Never. She's the total yin to my yang. Whereas like I'm more of an extrovert. I'm more a social butterfly. If you will. She always says that about me, and she's totally not that. Like she keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
So like that was just a result of me kind of correcting some things that I knew were wrong at that time in my life, getting certain people out of my life for good. And then that opened me up to receive the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yes.
And it wasn't something where I was like how you were saying earlier, if, like not to bring religion into it, whether you're religious or not. I don't know that religious would be the right term for me because I think there's a lot of religion that, was put in there by man that isn't necessarily like godly. But I believe in God. I'll just tell you, like, I believe there's a divine being that's like pulling strings in our lives to show us things. There's been a lot of things lately that I'm like, God is showing me certain things, like reminding me, like lately I kind of been getting back into reading the Bible, and there's been little reminders of like, hey, hello, hey, trust me. Like I'm still here working in your life.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to feel like I got to take on the whole world by myself.
Yes.
But if you don't act out of, like, say if you're just going on dates just because you're lonely, you're going to attract the wrong people.
Exactly.
Because they're probably doing the same thing. So if you can get on your grind, if you can get in the gym, get in shape, love yourself, you're going to open yourself up to receive exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Bro, I just went off right there.
You did go off because I got a coworker and I don't understand it. And he just goes on and he's just going date after date after date after date after date. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, nah, I just like to go on dates and blah, blah. I'm like, dude.
You're going to catch a disease,
yeah,
brother.
that's what I'm saying. And I'm just like, dude, no, if I'm going to go on a date, man, it has to have true potential or almost potential for me to, go. I don't care about the spending money part, but I'm saying like it's actually the time that I'm making for them. It's not even about the money no more. Everybody's like, oh, you got to spend this. You got to spend. It's not about the money no more. It's actually me getting dressed, going there, not working, and like spending this time with her. And I'm just like, dude, you're wasting too much time. And then when you're going on all that, then we can get to the money part later.
Well, it all comes back to me about self-love, because if you love yourself, you're not going to put yourself in those weird situations, not come from a position of like needing something from someone.
Yes.
And come from a position of giving. Like, how can I give my best, put the best version of myself out there, not just in dating, with my family, with my friends, with dating, with my work life, with my clients, with everything. Yeah. You have to be a well-rounded person.
Yes. Then after that had died out, because like I said, you can only ride the wave for so long until the wave crashes. And I would say after that, dude, 22, 23, and then boom, took off to the races. And that was just with the whole lifestyle journey and stuff changing. But I'm lucky that, like I said, I didn't know how to handle all that attention. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. And then when that wave crashes and it's like, yeah, you still like a good looking man, but it's not like the same. You're not no young buck anymore. You're starting to like age a little bit. But not as far as, not to try and get too deep, but as far as this year is done, not at 100%, but I have looked at like, okay, what are some things that I need to change? What are some toxic habits that I'm doing? What is this? Can I do better at this? Can I do better at that? And it's like, I feel like it's going to be well-rounded, and I'm not just trying to be that basic person. It's like, oh man, it's going to be my year. It's going to be my year. Because the last time I said that about 2020, and that was one of the worst years of my life. But as far as going into 2025, I do feel really, really good about going into the new year, and I have some things that I want to step in and like do and really take these things seriously. So you never know, like in the earlier years, nobody wants to admit that, but as you start getting older, you're like, yeah, in high school it wasn't, I didn't really get too much, but later on I was like, all right.
Well, I was telling someone some stories the other day about like junior high, and like, you know, like in junior high for me, I don't know how it is nowadays. I'm sure it's like wild nowadays, but for me it was like, if someone like held hands with a girl, it was like, oh, like crazy, right?
Mine was if somebody was pregnant. I would be wild. I was like, what is going on?
I went to Baptist school.
Oh, you did.
But at that point in my life, even if a girl would have like liked me, I would have been so scared or like not
shy.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, I was 5'4", 100 and just chunk, short, fat. There was nothing about me that like I didn't really grow until like my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
So I remember there was kids that were just like, you know, those kids that were full grown men in junior high.
Yes.
It's such a weird time because you could have two kids that are the same age. One's an adult and one's like a little kid.
Yeah.
That was me. So that's why like I didn't really mature. I mean, you saw me at 18 years old. I looked like I was 15. Like I just didn't. But it works out now because
it does work out now
on the back end. Yeah. It's great. But yeah, man, I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
But you have to work on so much of our childhood will still try to come to the forefront.
Yes.
Because like I think one of the reasons my 20s went the way it went is because in the back of my head, I'm still that short, fat kid who has something to prove. Mm-hmm. Like I need to prove to you and to everyone else that I'm good enough or whatever it is, until I kind of, like I said, hit that brick wall. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, bro, you're at the time 30.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not that 13, 14-year-old fat kid no more. You're doing well.
Yeah.
You're, for all intents and purposes, I'm a good dude. Like I never try to go screw somebody, just on purpose or like do anything like that. Like I want the best for people in my life. Like you need to kind of appreciate and love yourself some more and learn that you're this guy now. You're an adult now, and then act that way.
Yes.
So because I did that, thank God I did, because now I have a beautiful son and a wife that I love more than anything in my life. You live day to day, but then you look back on your life and you're like, you can see kind of the writing on the wall and how you got to where you are. It's interesting. Imagine being 90.
Absolutely.
Imagine looking back when you're 90 and being like, wow, like all this led me to here, like so many events.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so much of it is luck too. Think about this.
Luck is definitely in there.
Oh, it's huge.
Glad you brought that up too.
Okay, so think about this. A great audiobook, The Psychology of Money.
Oh, dude, I was actually looking at that book today. I read it.
Yeah,
it's in there.
So the part where he talks about Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill Gates is this super successful billionaire. He started Microsoft, da-da-da-da-da-da. What no one tells you is that he went to a high school outside of Seattle, and this high school just happened to have a math and science teacher who, for some reason, lobbied super hard for the school to purchase one of the first computers that was ever released. I forget what it was called.
Oh, wow.
So at that time in the world, there was like 180 million high school aged people on Earth. Out of all them, like 18 million of them were in the United States. Out of all of them, like 100,000 of them were in Seattle, and out of all them, like 180 of them were, I forget exactly what the numbers were at that school, but basically it came down to there's a 1 in a million chance that Bill Gates went to a high school that had a computer, where him and Steve Ballmer, the other founder of Microsoft, they would stay after school, play on this computer. They got to be experts at the computer. They knew exactly how everything worked, why it was the way it was. Whenever, bro, like my dad and your dad at school at that time, that you tell like, hey, Charlie, what's a megabyte? They'd be like, a what? They don't
Yeah.
So think about the advantage they got, right? Okay. So they are able to do that. It was Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, and this other guy, I forget his name, but he was like the best looking guy of the group, the social butterfly. He dressed super sharp dressed dude everywhere he went. He would bring a briefcase into meetings and stuff, like, because they were working on this like before they even graduated high school, I'm pretty sure. But this was one of their friends. This dude gets killed in a hiking accident.
Wow.
So it's like 23 people every year in the United States are killed in hiking accidents, which is roughly 1 in a million. So Bill Gates experienced 1 in a million luck. This dude who could have been right there with him, his right-hand man at Microsoft, was killed in a mountain hiking accident.
Wild.
He experienced 1 in a million bad luck. So if that's a roll of the dice, and even Bill Gates said, had there not been this high school that had the computer that I went to, had that not happened, Microsoft would not exist.
Oh man,
how crazy.
Xboxes wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
for me
and you know, there's smart people that try to start businesses and fail.
Yes,
and they make the mistake of thinking that it was like a bad decision. Some of it's luck.
Yes,
I mean, there's people that make terrible choices and they just luck into stuff. I mean, it happens all the time. So, yeah, man, it's there's so much in life that is just up to random chance.
Yes, no, definitely.
It's
That was great, man. I actually enjoyed that.
I don't even know where I was going.
You were podding, man. You were podding.
I was just
you were podding.
Which brings me to something that's not luck.
Oh, shoot.
This has taken a considerable amount of dedication on your part.
Yeah.
A considerable amount of effort. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
50 actually remembering you and knowing you.
Oh yeah. No, it was cool because he had hosted a what was it? He was hosting his was it the LeBranson? I still, because I don't drink. He signs the bottle, but I leave the bottle how it is. Well, let me ask you this: if you get an autograph from somebody, and that bottle right there, what's that bottle?
It's just Marco Velasquez.
Okay,
brought me some tequila.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, shout out to Marco V one time, but okay, let's say The Rock's tequila, and he signs that autograph. Are you keeping that tequila in there?
Hell yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Okay. So
imagine you like, hey, here's The Rock's tequila and it's empty.
Yeah.
That's no.
He had signed the Branson cognac. There you go. It's a cognac he had signed. And it was probably, I want to say, a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks before he did his book signing. So when he did that, I talked to him about a song off the Massacre called Baltimore Love Thing. I told him that was like my favorite song that he's ever done. And he stopped and he actually had like a conversation. He's like, man, that was one song that like meant a lot to me. I wrote this, yada, yada, yada. And you could tell like it's not just a basic question you're asking a celebrity. And then I'd ask him something about like what's happening in the TV show. And you could tell he was like, man, this guy's a real fan. Like he actually like watched the TV show. So when I was doing the whole book signing, my plan was to actually buy the book and like read it before I got there. Cause that's what I did with Charlemagne the God. And the author's like, holy shit. Like this guy actually read the book and like got it signed, to where most casual fans are just getting it signed. They'll go read the book later. Well, I turned out that usually they were giving out the book for free, and you're paying pretty much for, well, they're not giving out the book for free, but you're paying pretty much for a photo of 50 Cent, a photo with 50 Cent, and for the book. I forgot how much the price was, but anyways, it wasn't too expensive. It was like $30, I think. And when I went up there, he's like, hey, because I was wearing the same black Yankees hat and I have my Yankees jersey. He's like, hey, you're the guy who was saying the yada yada about the Baltimore Love thing. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I support. And he's like, oh man, good to see you. And then we got a picture together. And then after that, I told him, I was like, hey man, I wish you. We didn't have time to like really like chit chat, but I was like, hey, I wish you the best success. He's like, I really appreciate it. And then it turns out that I think the guy who was like doing the photos, he had heard us. Dude, I was on 50 Cent's like main page. I think you may have saw it, where we're like shaking hands. I
did see that.
And I was like, dude, this is awesome, man. This is like super, super cool. And it's just like, it's just crazy, man. Cause I remember being at, I've never talked about this, but I remember being at Cooner's house. He wanted the 50 Cent album for his birthday. And he's like, oh, make sure your mom gets the unedited version. And because my mom always got me the edited version. I was kind of sheltered as a kid. So we got him the unedited version. And everybody's just listening to this new 50. You got to think this is like when 50 Cent first came out. And you're hearing Many Men for the first time. You're hearing 21 Questions for the first time. You're hearing Patiently Waiting. You're hearing What Up, Blood? What Up? They go, What Up, Gangsta? You're hearing PIMP for the first time. So everybody's mind is just blown. And you go back 20 years later and you look back at that, I was like, I'm glad I have that memory. Just like remembering the first experience hearing like a classic album. Well, to that day, it was classic, but like 20 years later, it's considered, if not one of the best hip hop albums ever made.
You know what the most prolific album that I remember from my childhood, that when it dropped, it was earth shattering?
Okay, can I guess?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to go with just three. I'm going to go with artist. I'm either going to go with DMX, Limp Bizkit, or, okay, I give up.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Nelly.
Oh, Nellyville.
Country Grammar.
Nelly Country Grammar. Yeah. Everybody was a Country Grammar guy. I was a Nellyville guy.
I was all about Country Grammar. The whole CD. Every song. I mean, bangers.
Really?
Yeah, that was EI was on there.
EI was on there. I wasn't a Country Grammar guy. I did have the album, but I was a Nellyville guy.
Yeah. You can find me
in St. Louis. When I play rain all day.
Dude.
See, that was the ghetto one.
That was that, but that was him. Like,
I forgot about that one.
I love artist. I love like when you listen to an artist that's good now, and then you go back to, like, there's this metal band, my favorite band, Parkway Drive.
Okay.
If I were to show you their newest album,
yeah,
it sounds like poppy, and like they've just like kind of moved their sound over to like more of a mainstream sound.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so they can make a living.
Exactly.
Because if you go back to their 2006, they released albums in 06, I want to say 07, 09.
Yeah.
10 and 12.
Yeah.
Those first like 4 or 5 albums are just heavy, like hard.
Yes.
But those are my favorites.
Yes.
It's just funny to see like how artists kind of evolve over time.
Yeah.
But you go back and hear like their original, like Eminem, like
yeah,
completely different than like Marshall Mathers EP. Like,
yeah.
That's when he was at his pure, like,
yes.
That's what put him on the map. So
yes,
that's how I try to always remember artists. It's almost like when a quarterback goes to sign for like another team.
Yes.
And nobody remembers them as the amazing quarterback or boxer or basketball player. Like, no one remembers like MJ on the Wizards.
Yes.
But like I see this with fighters where they fight way past their prime and they just get their ass kicked.
Yes.
And that's how people kind of remember them.
Yeah.
Or like when, Joe Montana signed with, was it the Chiefs?
It was it was after the 49ers. I think it was the Chiefs.
Yeah, like, did he need to do that?
No.
But then sometimes, dude, you get the Peyton Manning. He went to Denver. What was it, 2 Super Bowls or 1?
2 Super Bowl. No, I think it was 2. He won 2. Went to a Super Bowl, lost, and then ended up going again. So he did go 2 Super Bowls with Denver. Yeah. Yes.
And Tom Brady goes to the Bucks, gets a Super. So sometimes
Brett Favre
works
to the
out.
Jets, and then goes to the Vikings. NFC Championship, loses, but NFC Championship at 40-something years
Bro,
old.
was that the game where he just Hail Married and the announcer's like, I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Oh, dude, you just made my man. It's the simple things in rap that made my day with the St. Louis, man. That was like, if I may, St. Louis.
Dude, and the cover where he's under the arch.
Yes. Oh man,
dude, there was that, and then shoot, man, the Eminem was. I didn't
get to experience the Eminem early on as you did. I experienced that later, like in 7th grade.
But he was the first real white rapper since Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
But that was one where definitely my mom was not letting me get that.
Oh,
CD.
dude, that one was crazy
because he did say some crazy shit.
No, Marshall Mathers LP was the craziest.
And you said Limp Bizkit,
hot dog flavored water.
So that whole album, that album dropped. When that was 2000 or 2001.
Yes.
It was 2001. Because okay, so you remember Keenan Miles?
Yes.
Okay, so me
old school people.
Yeah,
man.
me and Keenan Miles. It was the summer between 5th and 6th grade. Mom, I've never told you this.
Yeah.
So my mom is a teacher at our school.
Yes.
So she had to go back for teacher in service for a couple weeks before school. So she hires this babysitter who lives a couple streets over from where Gus and Scott Allen lived.
Yeah. Scott Allen.
In Arlington Heights.
Yeah.
She lived in that neighborhood. So my mom would drop us off at this girl's house. At the time, she must have been a senior in high school or something, but she was very 2001 chick. She's gel in her short short hair in the back and sterling silver earrings and big jewelry and stuff. Looking back on it, it was so early 2000s American. It was great.
Yeah.
So, but she would be like, hey, can we go get food or whatever? She'd be like, all right, let's go. So we'd load into her Ford Ranger. It would be me, Keenan, her obviously driving, and my brother, or even Keenan's little brother.
Good. Oh, okay.
And she would put on Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish. And it's the first thing you put in the CD. It's
the robot. This is not a test.
Yeah. But the first song is F this.
Oh, yes.
F.
Edited version, you can't understand it.
No.
Mom, the dad, the cop with a badge.
Yeah. Dude, my little private Christian school brain was, I was shocked.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I was absolutely shocked that this album existed.
Yep.
B, that she thought, what was going through her head to play
that song
in front of us.
Yeah.
I'm 10, 11 years old.
Yes.
I'm a private Christian school kid.
Yes.
But, looking back at it, was that bad for me? Or did it kind of help me kind of realize, hey, bro, this is what the world is.
It kind of helped you. This is what the world is at a steady pace. I think the same thing too. And I'm kind of glad because you're going to have that either way. And it's kind of glad that it kind of got you like that, because to go with your answer or question or whatever, the first time that I experienced anything like that was a DMX party up in here. And I had the actual burnt CD, and they have a part where it goes, that's the first time I heard that phrase. I was so in shock. Wait, what? There's that stuff happens.
Bro, I felt guilty for hearing it.
Yeah, me too. And my mom literally, oh, get this, and checks it. Dude, 5th grade, Inter Morano, I'll never forget the day. It still sticks to my head. What? And so, she ejects it and I don't think she threw the CD out, but she ended up ejecting it. And I thought the same thing too. I was like, man, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? And you know what I want to say? I want to say neither. I'm just glad it can kind of okay, now that can kind of open me up to like, man, this is the real world, because it's going to happen eventually. It's just like when it's happening or something.
But you want to know how far things slid in, say, 30 years? So how you said you don't remember if she threw it out the window or not.
Yeah.
My dad always tells this story that so he grew up with this guy so my dad had a friend whose father was like this old hard dude. He was a World War II guy.
Okay.
This and that. Well, my dad always tells this story that they were on the way up to go hunting or something, like up in like near Huntsville.
Yeah.
And they're on 45. And my dad's friend, back then they had 8-track tapes.
Yes.
So you just plug it in and it plays. There's no rewinding. There's no choosing a song. It just plays. So they put in this 8-track. I think it was, dude, now I'm going blank.
You was going at it for a while.
I can see the guy's face. I don't know why. Waylon Jennings.
Okay.
So there's a song by Waylon Jennings, and it was on this 8-track tape, and it says, "I'm not your normal dude. I don't have to go to work, or like I don't have to work all day," or something like that.
Yeah.
And as soon as he said that part of the song, the friend's dad grabbed the 8-track out and threw it out on 45. Yes.
What?
Yeah. Just for saying like I don't have to work.
That is wild.
Like that's not even, but the message behind it was like he didn't want his kids hearing you don't have to work.
Really? Okay. Okay.
That just shows you like how far things have fallen. Like I talked to my grandma, dude. She's like, yeah, when we were in she graduated from Pasadena High School in like 51 or 52.
Yeah.
And she was like, when I was in high school, people would say like, no one, she said pretty much like she didn't really know people that drank. And she said her friends would say like, oh, don't go out with that guy. He smokes. Or like, don't hang out with them. They smoke. Well, because they didn't know what drugs were.
Yeah.
They didn't have like pot or cocaine or nothing. So it's just crazy to see the fabric of our society. And like now we have, I don't mean to get political, but you have a presidential rally where you have freaking Megan Thee Stallion twerking.
Yeah, that was wild.
What was that?
That was wild.
And they wonder why they lost.
Yep. Just to get the general audience or general whatever you call it, just to get the vote just from seeing I see Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, I'm gonna go vote for.
They totally missed the mark.
Yeah,
they don't. I was talking to my financial guy, and we were talking about it, and he goes, he said something really smart. He said, "Listen, man, most people are pretty moderate.
Yeah,
like I'm a guy where I'm in the middle, man. Like I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want you telling me what to do." When it comes to money, I think we should not go into a ton of debt.
Yes.
I'm a pretty reasonable guy.
Yeah.
And when it comes to my president, I want him to be policy based. Mm-hmm. Okay. I want real answers to real questions that really affect Americans. And I'm not saying Trump is that. But he was the better choice of the two. And you turn her on and she can't even, and it'd be like you asking me, "Hey Blake, how was your day today?" Well, Zach, when you say the word day, that just raises a bunch of points. And then I go off on some tangent and you're like, what are we talking about? Blake, where are you? Hello. Are you here?
Yeah.
That's why I felt like, and then Megan Thee Stallion, and then Cardi B's reading off of her phone on stage.
Yeah. It's a bad, what hasn't been talked about is these women, dude, they got so many like children, mainly girls, looking up to them as role models.
Oh yeah.
And it's not good. But you got the parents playing the unedited music in the car.
Well, didn't Cardi B like come out and basically say like she's ashamed of her prior like message that she put out?
Yes.
And that she has kids now and she doesn't let them listen to this and that.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, that's good.
Yes. But it's just the females, and not to be, this is nowhere near sexist, but just it's so bad. Like Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, you got, and this is for the older women too, you got older women who think they're Kim Kardashian and just want to live that lifestyle.
Well,
like you are. So
it's just so, even a lot of male rappers too, like they talk about just sexual stuff that's so graphic that I'm like, I'm to the point where a lot of the stuff I listen to is like there's this band Nightmares on Wax. They just have little beats, no words. I like that because I don't have to hear. I'm not even going to say there's one song and one phrase that I'm thinking of, but it's just so offensive and like, I don't need to hear that, bro.
Exactly.
I was thinking about, think about 2008, 9, 10.
Okay.
Recession rap.
Yeah. Recession. Young G's even had a CD called The Recession.
But like
recession rap.
Like T-Pain, he would never, like a lot of his songs, if they were going to be about like sex or anything, it would just allude to the fact that it was going to happen.
Yes.
It would just be like, and then we go back to my house and well, you kind of know the rest. Like that's not what it was, but that's how he presented it.
He presented it. Yeah.
Nowadays it's like, I'm doing, and I'm like, I don't need to know. I don't need to hear that.
Yeah, they're bad with it, dude. You didn't think it could get worse, and it's just getting worse and worse.
But the vulgarity, I guess it's the shock factor. I don't know.
Yeah.
But rap is in a weird spot right now.
Rap is definitely in a weird spot right now. Did you get a chance to listen to that new Kendrick?
No. I couldn't even tell you a rap song that's come out in the last year.
Really?
COVID rap had some.
COVID rap
had a few little bangers. Like Future had a mixtape around that time.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to think who had some.
Gunna had one. Like there was a couple albums I remember specifically.
Don Toliver ring a bell?
Yes.
Okay. Don Toliver was a good COVID rap. Yeah. COVID rap. Don Toliver probably had my COVID rap album of the year.
Oh, Roses.
Yes. I remember that one. But yeah, rap is in a weird spot right now. Are you with Drake or you ride with Kendrick? Even though you haven't been really paying attention, you don't care. You're like, nah.
That's so far out of my realm, bro.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm with DSR. How about that?
Hey, f it, dude.
I still ride with DSR.
Oh, man. Nah, I had a chance. I'm not even a Kendrick fan like that, but I did have a chance to check out that new Kendrick album. And it's actually really, really good. And
I'll tell you what, I'm with Drake. You know why?
Because
of that song that goes, they not like us. They not like us.
You didn't like that one?
Hey, write a better song.
It got the crowd moving, man.
You know what really gets the crowd going? YMCA.
All right, Trump. Hey, got him.
The golf swing.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm not going to turn this in because last time I did that, I was getting, it was crazy. I just want to say that was crazy. I lost my, like I said, I'm not getting into it, but I lost that little deal that I had. Dude, I had a podcast deal in 2018, 2019. They're like, we'll let you come out for free. And because they usually, they were like $50 an hour. They're like, we'll let you come out here for free. Just mention us, do this. We see that you got a good following and we see that you do good numbers. Cause back then it was just 1,000 views. Just boom, boom, boom. They're like, you got good numbers. We'll let you come out for free. Invite whoever you want. All right, cool. Dude, I did a Trump segment, a good Trump segment. Dude, numbers just fell to shit. And studio said, all right, nah, they wouldn't even let me pay the hourly fee. They're like, nah, we don't want you. We got too much because they pay attention to the comments and stuff. I'm like, all right, never going into detail of politics again. But on that note, I'm excited for Trump to get in and just do what he needs to do. I love that he attended the Army and Navy game last week. I love that he attends the UFC fights. I love how he has his little clique with them.
He's smart, man. He knows how to be seen. And he knows his crowd. The psychology behind it.
There you go.
You know, this guy, I've never seen a guy that can come out and just say he'll just say something and people know it's kind of not true, but they don't care.
Yeah.
That'd be like me coming out and being like, man, this is going to be the biggest podcast that the Houston area has ever seen.
Yeah.
People have told me that this is the best. We're the best. Everyone knows we're the best, and we're going to do the biggest numbers anyone has ever seen in Houston.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether that's true or not,
yeah,
it's a meta idea of where I want this to go.
Exactly.
Right? So he just speaks these things and hopes it lands somewhere close to what he says.
Yes. Man, you couldn't have put it in a better like perspective with that too.
Right?
You couldn't have.
It's like if I have a football in my hand, I'm gonna throw this thing 150 yards. Watch.
Exactly.
Everybody knows I can do this.
Exactly.
Say you throw 80.
Yeah.
Just because of the goal you set by saying that, you're going to throw further.
And I hate using this word. I always have, but manifesting it. You're manifesting it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I need to compliment you on is because, dude, I just see so many. Oh, man. I seen these two girls with more than one baby daddy, 3 kids, and they try to make their own podcast. Lasts for 6 months. That's it. They get out of there. Then there's these other podcasts that go. It's just people are coming and going, and like you, man, you have the following, you have the people, and it's like I just want to say I'm proud of you for like just keeping it going, and it's awesome. What are you on year 4
of the podcast
or year 3,
dude? So
you got to be on year 3. Year 3. Yeah, 2021.
I mean, the reason I think that is, and I don't have like a crazy following, but.
Hey, it's growing from where it had.
I have my people.
Yes.
That's it. I don't have. I'm more of a quality guy.
And it's weird because I feel like some of your people navigate to me, and then some of my people now. Dude, I forgot what girl it was. Like, oh, Blake said he was doing this. I was like, what the hell? I was like, all right, you need to relax. And then you get these people. Oh, I love Blake. Oh man, he's such an intriguing guy. He speaks so well, and he looks like a great realtor.
Well, I mean, we grew up together, so people know us.
But it's crazy because I've been on the internet for so long, just with the MySpace days, and always adapting to like what works or whatnot. And I'm just like, it's like you're, and we go shout. He's got like the little shout out. But how do you pronounce his name? N-A-Z. Naz?
Naz, yeah.
Naz? Okay, Naz. It is like Naz, a cool dude. Like he hit me up. Oh, great podcast. I'm like, okay, it's one of Blake's people. Like that's cool.
But you talk about these people that are in and out. Okay, so
podcast wise, yeah,
or anything. The reason I do this, is,
but mostly podcast wise.
The reason I do this is because I think it's fun.
It is fun,
and I like it, and I don't count on this to like get clout.
For sure.
I mean, does it help my real estate? It helps me like generate content, which is cool. You know, it's a byproduct of it. But I'm not like, okay, I've got to book a podcast. No, because then it's not fun no more.
It's not.
And so I think that's why. And like I said, I just have this room. I'm able to kind of do it when I want.
Yes.
And
you got the great equipment, top tier equipment.
I mean, but I've just been doing it a while and had to learn how to do all of it.
I told you the last time, you're just like just everything's just evolving and improving. And yeah, congratulations though, man. That's cool, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk Yankees.
Oh man.
Juan Soto, fat boy. What?
Oh, you know what? I'm actually I'm glad what we're doing because we didn't. I know we didn't sign him and everybody. Okay, if we were going to get him. That was just all for marketing. What people need to understand is when people go after players, not necessarily the Yankees because we got money to spend, but when people go after players, it's more of a marketing deal. Okay, ESPN's going to want. We're going to watch this.
Juan Soto is only 21 years old.
We're going to watch this guy. We're going to watch. So when we didn't get that player, I'm like, good.
Y'all signed Cody Bellinger.
We got Cody Bellinger. We got, not a lot of people know this guy. The only reason I know him is because I play MLB The Show. Max Fried from the Atlanta Braves.
What do you mean not a lot of people know that guy?
Dude, I asked like 2 people and they didn't like know who's this guy. Who's this guy? Okay, thank you for knowing. Okay, I'm glad. For some reason, I thought you were going to tell me you didn't know him. Okay,
that's one of the best pitchers in the league.
Left-hander too.
Yeah.
Lucky lefty. Cody Bellinger, Max Fried. We got the closer from the Milwaukee Brewers that I'm not too familiar with, but supposedly he's really, really good. And we're looking at Arenado, and then we're looking at Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman, yeah, I was going to go second.
Dude, that would be crazy.
I know, bro. That would be.
That'd be crazy.
That would be. But I'm like, okay, cool. We could get some pitching instead of spending it all on one player. But that's what, not trying to change the subject, but like when the Packers were great and Aaron Rodgers was due for a contract, it's like we got to give this player all this money, but we can't sign any. I want to sign players, good chemistry, boom, that go and get it instead of signing this one major future Hall of Famer. Like it just doesn't work out that way.
Did you see who the Astros are? I don't know.
Yeah, I did. Walker?
Yeah.
Who does he? I'm not familiar with him either. Where does he play for?
From Arizona.
Arizona. What position?
First base.
First base?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard he's really, really good though.
Yeah. But I feel like the Yankees, they need a third baseman. They need
Yes.
a second baseman.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do need a second
Like
baseman.
there's just a couple holes in their game.
you got Gleyber Torres. He's okay.
He can't hit.
He can't hit. He can't hit. He was supposed to have a breakout year last year, and he didn't. I was way wrong on
He's
that.
like one of those guys where every time I turn the TV on and he's at bat, it's like, oh, here's
really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Man, I hate to say this because one of the guys who would always get a hit when I was watching the Astros, which I don't watch a lot of Astros games, but it was Kyle Tucker.
I know.
Oh, man.
I mean, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
It's just, that was a tough one. Like for the, on the emotional standpoint.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I lost the bet, and Baker called me yesterday. Literally, he's like, "Hey, what was that thing that we bet on?" I know we bet it. And I was like, I was literally hoping you'd forget that so I could dress differently.
My cousin?
No, you.
But you said Baker.
Blake Baker.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Aaron Baker.
No. Anyways, you had called me. You're like, "What did we bet on?" And I was like, "Oh, I was hoping you forget." I was like, "I was supposed to wear an Astros cap." You're like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, man. I'm gonna wear it. I'm just gonna do the whole all black on black look today."
Bro, it don't matter to me. You could have worn a Yankees jersey.
I know, man. Hey, I'm a man of my word, though, man. That's something. Hey, because I was gonna make sure I had a Yankees jersey ready. Because I don't know what size cap do you wear?
I have a big head, 7 5/8.
Okay, 7 5/8. Okay, so I would have definitely brought you a Yankees jersey because we betted. We said the Yankees won. You gonna wear some Yankees gear.
Here's the thing.
They lost. I got to wear an Astros gear.
If it wasn't for the Astros, I did used to like the Yankees when the Astros were in the NL.
I didn't know that.
I mean, yeah, like growing up, Derek Jeter.
So you weren't a Red Sox guy?
No.
Good. Me neither. Never have been. Never will be.
Well, growing up, it was like they were never good. So until 2003, they won that World Series, and then I couldn't be like, oh, now I'm a Red Sox fan.
Yeah.
Like the 90s Yankees was, bro, Roger Clemens, Andy Pettitte. I could tell you, okay, so tell me if I'm correct.
Okay.
Okay, say you have whoever on the mound, Jorge Posada behind the plate.
Okay.
Paul O'Neill or Tino Martinez at first.
Yeah. I know this one, second base.
Dude, second.
You got two of them you can get.
Jeter at short.
Yes.
Third base was it Chuck Knobloch?
No, Chuck Knobloch was second base.
Second? Okay.
And we can throw in Alfonso Soriano.
Alfonso Soriano, yeah. Yeah.
I can't name short, I can't
or
name
at second.
I can't name the third baseman.
Dude.
Center field, Bernie Williams.
Hold on, who played third base? I can't think of it. Yeah, Bernie Williams.
I can't think of it either. Scott Brocious.
Scott Brocious.
Scott effing Brocious.
Yeah. Yeah. Then who was the guy that kicked the ball in from the outfield? Was that Paul O'Neill? He
I know which one you're talking about. That was Paul O'Neill
as well.
That was Paul O'Neill.
But dude, it's crazy because the other day I was watching the 1999 All-Star game.
In Fenway Park.
On YouTube.
In Fenway Park.
And
I remember that.
They go one by one and they introduce the whole lineup.
They had so many Indians on there.
I knew almost every player.
Hold on. Do they have Manny Ramirez?
Jim Tomei.
Did they have Roberto Alomar on there too?
I think they did.
I think they did too. Nomar Garcia Parra. That is wild.
Larry Walker. Craig Biggio. Jeff Bagwell.
Yep, Jeff Bagwell.
Pedro Martinez.
Mark McGuire.
Cal Ripken Jr.
Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
I'm like, why do I remember every single player from
Because we were just so in tune to baseball, man. We were so in tune to it. We didn't have none of these distractions. We were just on it.
Yeah.
It's our lives.
Now, like whenever I look at like the top, like the other day I looked up because Alex Bregman, we're talking about sending Alex Bregman away wherever he goes, but I'm like, who's even the best third baseman in the league? So I look it up, bro. 7 out of 10 guys, I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, same.
They're all just so young. And I was telling Kelsey this too. Like the NBA ratings have
the NBA ratings have plummeted.
Yeah. And I'm like, why? Okay, so a couple things. One, there's no defense.
Yes, no defense at all.
They don't try. Like they don't care. They don't have that like, I'm with this team and it's us or no. Or like there's no. It doesn't seem anybody's dedicated. They're like, I'm here. I'm paid. I'll do my thing, and then I'm gone.
Yep.
So that's how the vibe is to me.
Absolutely.
They shoot nothing but threes now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just sloppy play. Like overall, it seems.
I'm glad you said they shoot nothing but threes because I saw that cup, which I'm glad the NBA Cup. I don't know if you know about that or not. They go to Vegas and play. Rockets are actually close to winning that. By the way.
I was at the
I saw you was on court
game.
side.
Yeah, dude, I wanted to
Acting
say something.
rich.
I wanted to say something earlier when you were
Not acting rich. You was being rich.
when you were talking about the internet and just people leaving weird comments and just how people are on the internet and wanting access to you.
Yes.
Get this. Okay, so I posted on my story. I was sitting just like this on the court side, whatever, and
that was awesome.
I was like, "This is a cool moment. I got to document this."
Yeah.
This dude replies to my story. Get this.
Yeah.
He runs this Instagram page they got some followers.
Yeah.
They got like 70-something thousand.
Okay.
And he was like, damn, hook a brother up with courtside seats.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know this dude. I don't even know. I've actually asked him to be on the podcast and he just doesn't reply.
Okay.
And so he's like, yeah, hook a brother up with courtside seats. And I was like, oh, this is my best friend. He's high up with, we were able to he had a friend that was able to, like they that they provided the ticket. This wasn't me. That's basically what I said.
Yes.
So he sends me his email address and he goes, have your buddy email me. I'd love to sit courtside and blast the content all through the network. And I go, A, don't know you. B,
don't know you.
You really think that you can just send me your email address and I'll get you courtside at the Rockets game?
Yeah.
What world are we living in? What? Like, that came across as the most sociopathic, like, weird comment. Like,
yes.
I could never imagine saying that to someone else.
Yes.
Like, what frame of mind do you have to be in to think that that's like a normal thing to do?
An internet frame of mind. There are weird people on the internet,
dude. It's totally, an internet frame of mind.
It's another world, man. It really, really, truly is. There's just different worlds in the world we live in, and it's an internet world, and it's crazy.
It's making people.
Yeah. But that's what I mean when like he sent you that. He's not thinking like. He's thinking, internet, here's the email. He's going to shoot me some tickets. We good. And if he's doing that to you, imagine how many other people he's...
Well, then all I could think was, I asked this dude to be on my podcast. So
now you're like, who am I bringing into my home?
Right. So now, I've kind of like started to do the idea of like, if I have someone I don't know, I'll go to like a neutral location. Like, hey, you can,
nice.
You can meet me at my office.
That's actually very, very smart.
Or something. And with this camera here, I could easily do like...
Oh, yeah.
So.
Let me ask you something. Do you have I don't need to know the people, which you weren't going to say the people anyways, but do you have a block list?
On...
Instagram? Somebody was...
Yes.
Okay, cool. Me too. Is it more than 10 or less than 10? Or is it right at 10?
It's probably less. I mean, it's people that I have cut out of my life that were really like, I just don't even need to be associated with this person anymore.
Okay.
Or people, or like spam. Spammy bot weird people.
And has there ever been like, is there a random one on that? Like the one who sent you a message? Like I've had something like that before. And I'm like, dude, you are weird. Blocked.
Nah, I don't have a ton of that.
Okay. Now I was just curious.
I couldn't even tell you who's on that list right now. Okay. I just know there's a couple people.
Same. I just had somebody say so. He's like, no, I don't block nobody. I don't care what they do. They can see what I'm doing. I was like, all right. I was like, I might as well, if I'm going on the pod tomorrow, just go ahead and bring it up.
Let's see what else we got here, man. So we talked about 50. We talked about TV. Talked about Lala. Being yourself always. So we've kind of talked about that a little bit, but don't you think that just comes with age as a man?
Yeah, no, it does. You're I wouldn't say you're constantly, I think it happens in like 2 years, maybe a year, but, I feel like we are constantly changing, and I feel like when you're constantly changing, that just goes to, identifying the people that you do have around you. And when I was joking, when, that guy made me feel good when he was like, you hang out with a lot of people that have money. And I'm like, oh, you just get, and I jokingly said, you just caught me on my good days. But when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, I do got friends, and they are, and that just goes to show you they're doing good with themselves, like with their lives. And it's like, I like having a circle like that. Like,
well, if you hang out with people who have something to lose, you're going to make better decisions because they're going to check you on, like, there are certain people I hang out with that I have to watch out because they're always down to do the next thing. And it's not that they're bad people. They're just,
that's who they are.
I've always been a more conservative guy. It's just,
Me too.
I'm just wired that way.
Me too.
So, but then there's like, you know, like Keegan comes to mind. He's super cautious about where he goes, who he's with, what he's doing, because he is a very respected guy in his field. He's a family man.
Yeah.
He can't be out being wild. So like he's a dude that's a really good influence on me.
Yeah.
Chet Haywood, honestly.
Chet? I know Chet.
Yeah,
Man. I know Chet.
Chet's another one. Those are the two, like, out of all my friends, those two guys are like the best men that I know. Like, as far as my close friends.
Yeah.
If I'm with them, I know it's going to be a controlled, mature.
Yes.
Like, we ain't got to go all night. Like, we can, you know, we can meet up, you know, have a conversation, have a drink or two, and go home.
I was with my boy Oz, and Oz is a real. They see him a lot on my stories, but he's like a brother to me, man. He's just a really, really cool cat, man. And we, like how you're saying with Chet, we can just, you know, y'all could just go out, everything just be calm when it's time to go to sleep, or say y'all got a hotel and you're out of town, it's time to go to sleep. We brought a young cat with us that I know from another person's brother, and he had to keep reminding me. He's like, hey, he's this age. You got to let him do what he got to do. I was like, oh, I know, but I knew this was going to be the worst part. You know, they want to get drunk and they just want to party. It's like, bro, it's 12 a.m. We're 30 plus years old. We're trying to go to bed.
It's so funny to see people, to be around like younger, early 20s guys.
Crazy.
Because I was totally
I was totally that guy. I was totally that guy. And I think about him just like, oh, man, what was I doing? Like,
well, you were getting it out of your system.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I was that guy, dude, like waking up at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. All right, time to take some shots. And it's just like the other people, now that I think about it, it's like, what was this guy doing? But do we have that gym on that list?
The new gym.
The new gym. Anyways, the gym's going good. It just gets a little packed between like the times of like 4 to 8. But if you go like around 10 or...
Well, that's any gym. Crunch is... I love Crunch. Crunch is the best as far as... like my holy grail of gyms was 24-hour fitness in its heyday.
Me too.
Crunch is there. Crunch is a good one.
Really?
I love it.
I've never heard anybody speak highly on Crunch.
I like it. It's $10 a month. I can get in, I can get out. The one thing I will say about it is they don't have enough leg equipment.
Yeah.
They have one like quad extension, one hamstring curl. So if you're trying to do legs, it's honestly not the best place.
Yeah.
Club is probably my favorite place to hit legs.
I like Club, man.
Club at their the pendulum squat. Mm-hmm. Oh, that thing works. But I've been running so much lately that I haven't been able to hit legs.
Hey, I was gonna say, man, it looks like you lost some weight.
Nice. Yeah.
How much weight you lost? 10, 15?
About 15. Yeah.
No, I noticed that, man. Looking good.
I mean, if I don't run or do some sort of cardio, it just, especially with the kid, dude, because your diet, any, like one of the first things I noticed was you're just so exhausted because you don't get sleep.
Yes.
Your meal planning, you're just like, just give me whatever.
Yes. So
like it just happens.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once he got old enough to where it wasn't like such a 24/7 deal, then I got back on my stuff. I really enjoy running, dude. It's
that's awesome, man. That's cool.
People say like, oh, I'm not a runner, or I don't know how you could enjoy that. Like once you get into the habit of it, it's so addicting.
Yeah.
There's nothing like running.
Yeah.
Like I could go to the gym and hit like a back workout or legs or whatever, and afterwards, yeah, you feel better.
Yeah.
But I think of myself as like a wet rag, and you just wring that rag out.
Okay.
So like when I'm hitting weights, I give it a twist.
Yeah.
When I hit 15 miles, it's squeezing every drop. And by the time you're done, you get home, you take a shower, you lay down, the feeling is like,
dude, I bet.
euphoric.
I miss that.
Or and then you hop in an ice bath.
Yeah, I miss that. Oh yeah, that's when I commented. I was like, cold plunge? You're like, yeah, dude, it's awesome.
Dude, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's awesome, but mentally, it's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
It's when you're sitting there and you know that water's 50 degrees.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like in your shorts and it's like just you in the water. And you're like, I just got to get down in there. I mean, it was so cold the first couple times. I couldn't, it's like, oh, it was so cold it took my breath away.
Yeah.
That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Like the air was leaving my body.
And dude, you doing that even with cold weather, it makes it twice as
you just
hard.
have to go. And then I tried to go underwater. I tried to like fully dunk.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it because as soon as I got underwater, the air would leave my body. So what I did was I got a cup, like a big like the Texans plastic cup, big cup, and I just poured the water over my head. So I had to do it that way because I couldn't go underwater.
How long are you sitting in there for?
So you go 50 to 60 degrees.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. 50 degrees is way harder than 60 degrees.
Got you.
Big difference.
Wow.
But 50 to 60 degrees, 3 to 4 minutes. So like the last time I did it, I did 51 degrees for 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Oh, you're actually in there just for 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yep.
Oh, I thought they were in there. I thought y'all were in there longer, like for 20 minutes.
Hell
okay. Then I'm tripping.
No. And when you get out, it's crazy. So like the first time I hopped in there, the sides of my hands went numb. I was kind of scared. I was like, because your blood is just rushing like super fast. So I kind of was like, am I having like a medical emergency? I'm not even quite sure. But when I got out, dude, your body feels, there's something that like kicks off like a cold shock protein or something.
Yeah. You definitely
feel
cold shock.
You feel like $1,000,000 when
So
you get
on
out.
some cliff notes, like what are the benefits of that? Does it reduce stress, increase testosterone?
It reduces inflammation for one.
Okay.
So like it's proven that it reduces inflammation.
Okay.
There is times when it's better for you. Like it's best to do it first thing in the morning rather than like after a workout. The main thing for me is like, say if you're having a day where you just feel anxious or moody or you're just off. What it did for me was I hopped in there and all of the fight or flight kind of like cortisol hormone that was in my brain.
Yeah.
It was like all dumped right there to combat this crazy cold.
Yeah.
So once I got out of there, it was like all of that bad juice, cortisol, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It had all been used up. So the rest of the day, I was so relaxed.
Oh, nice.
Dude, just like everything just slid off my back.
Nice.
It was crazy. Like stuff that would normally piss me off or get on my nerves or...
Yeah.
Dude, you just take it.
That's awesome.
It's really, it's an interesting observation when you realize your brain is just kind of like at the mercy of the chemicals that are in there.
Yes. And it has to do with the food. It has to do with everything. Your thinking, your stress, the food you're eating,
your hydration.
How much water are you drinking? Have you been exercising? Just everything.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a day where I don't get my exercise, if I don't get outside for just a little bit,
yes,
and if I don't hydrate, it todially affects my quality of life.
Yeah, no, same.
Total. I mean, I'm just kind of probably just moodier and not as pleasant to be around. And, it makes me want like sweets.
Oh yeah, and that's the crazy thing when you're going through that, it makes you want sweets and just or
like it makes you want like pleasures. Like I'm way more likely to like go drink a beer.
Yes.
But if I, run and do cold plunge and do that stuff, my cravings for general, just pleasures go away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. It's interesting.
That's wild, man.
It's interesting. And it makes me wonder, like with Neuralink, like where is that going to go? Like, is it going to be the type of deal where you get a thing in your head and if you're like Elon Musk even said, like they'll be able to treat depression. So like imagine there's just a setting on your phone, you hit a button and your depression goes away.
That would be awesome.
That'd be crazy. That's insane. So it's just you're hacking the brain, man. I mean, they can do brain scans of people and like depressed people, and like there's certain areas of their brains that just aren't lit up where they should be.
Yeah.
There was I saw this TikTok of this. It was a guy basically being interviewed who was a brain doctor. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you, but they were talking about brain scans.
Okay.
And they were like, what is the worst brain you've ever seen?
Oh, shit.
And it was this kid who he was like sociopathic, psychopathic. He was like, I don't know if you ever seen like serial killers when they're little kids that like torture animals and stuff. So he was doing that. And then he eventually killed both of his parents.
That's wild.
Yeah. So they did a brain scan. So I think he killed both his parents and then himself, I want to say. But they did a brain scan and they looked at his brain and he was like, dude, it was the most shriveled up, nothing brain that you've ever seen. And they said that it could have been very well true that he was poisoned. Maybe he lived, maybe he had like a water well that was near like some sort of deposit, or maybe he had lead poisoning or there was like an external factor that caused his brain to degenerate to the point to where he was just this psychopath.
Yeah.
It makes you raise the question of like, where's that moral line? Like what makes it to where somebody has a healthy brain and they just become a piece of person?
Yeah.
Versus they got lead poisoning and like, I don't know if you've ever heard that guy that shot those people at the University of Texas out of the tower in the 60s. They did an autopsy on him. He had this big tumor in his brain. So it like affected his
thinking.
Yeah. Like how crazy is that? So is that a moral issue or is that a medical issue?
It's a medical issue.
It's tough.
It's a medical issue.
Yeah.
It is. And people
CTE.
CTE, yes. And I think we sometimes we look at those people and we're just like, yeah, it's a wrong thing, but we don't go through the science behind it.
Fame. I don't know if you've seen Amanda Bynes lately.
I have, and what the hell happened to her? Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she is. If I saw her walking down the street, I'd be like,
same. Later.
Yeah. I mean,
hi, Amanda.
No, I wouldn't even recognize that it's her.
Yeah, same.
It is interesting to see, like, what is it about Hollywood that just chews people up and spits them out?
Holly weird. I think it's because they said they got the government like catches like videos on them and they that's their like puppets. They're puppets. Yeah. It's insane. It's deeper than what we think it is.
I wouldn't want to be famous.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't.
Not at that level.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I wouldn't want to be at that level where you
can't go anywhere.
Well, yeah, you can't go nowhere, and you're at the mercy of the people that pay you to like be a certain thing or do a certain thing.
Yeah.
So let me get into these questions.
Oh yeah, we said we were doing some fun. Is this the fun part, or we were?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
If I can find this picture. So I took. Wait. I'm having some technical difficulty here.
No, you're good. Since the baby's growing, have you been getting better sleep, or it's just here and there?
It depends, man. Like lately he's been like, he'll learn a new thing. And once he learns that thing, he just does it over and over and over and over again, even all through the night. So he'll stay up all night.
Well, let me ask you this. On average, how many days a week do you feel restless?
Like at night?
Just during the day and period.
Not.
I get what you're saying.
Restless wouldn't be the word. It would be tired.
Okay.
How many days a week do I feel tired?
Yeah.
I would say 3 days out of every 2 weeks.
Oh shoot.
So like a day or two a week. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's a lot better at this point.
Yeah.
But he goes there like a couple months ago. There was like 2 weeks where we were both just dead.
Dead.
Oh my God. And you're just trying to take naps. And
yes.
Like one thing that you don't think about, like there's never a moment where you can not think about him. Like,
oh yeah.
He's always he's either with you or he's upstairs asleep and you got to keep an eye on the monitor. Like you always have to be thinking about
Are
him.
you sleeping naturally or do you take what's that stuff that people take to go to sleep? I can't even think about it.
I've never had problems sleeping really.
Really?
No.
You are blessed. I had problems all my life, dude, sleeping.
Go running. You'll sleep.
Okay. I'll probably take you up on that. Some 2025-ish.
So I have some questions for you brought to you by ChatGPT.
Oh, my God. If I hear ChatGPT, my brother was saying something. Another homegirl was saying something about that. Now you. Third time's a charm.
So
Blake Baker, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's what I put in.
Under contract, recognize.
I'm doing a podcast with a guest who is a Green Bay Packers fan, New York Yankees fan, and loves New York rappers. And he hates the Astros. Give me 5 questions for him that are extremely tough and make it a would you rather this or that format.
This is wild. I don't hate the Astros, but go ahead.
Okay. Would you rather the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl, but only if it means Aaron Rodgers returns for one more season and wins the MVP again, or the Packers never win another Super Bowl, but you can't stand Aaron Rodgers ever again?
That's the first one easily.
That's a weird question.
That's a super weird question. Didn't really make a lot of sense.
ChatGPT.
Man, I was praising ChatGPT. Come on, second one gotta be good.
All right. Would you rather the New York Yankees never win another World Series for the next 50 years, but the Mets win 5 during that time, or the Yankees win the World Series every year for the next decade, but the Astros never lose another game?
That don't make any sense. But the Yankees win the World Series.
Bro, ChatGPT is not that good yet, huh?
Damn it, not at all.
Would you rather your favorite New York rapper be forgotten in history, but every other New York City rapper, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, etc., becomes more iconic, or your rapper becomes the greatest of all time, but the others fade into obscurity?
Rapper become the greatest of all time.
Dude, these questions suck.
They do suck.
Would you rather the Astros win 3 more World Series in a row, but every win is tainted by cheating scandals? Or the Yankees lose the World Series in the most heartbreaking way possible for the next 5 years?
Yankees lose the World Series. That was easy.
3 more World Series in a row, but these are not good questions.
Not at all.
Would you rather the Packers make the playoffs every year but get eliminated in the first round every time, or the Packers go 4-12 for the next 5 straight seasons, but you know they'll eventually rebuild into a Super Bowl contender?
How many seasons?
5 straight.
5 straight seasons.
You have to go with number 2 because you know there's a possibility of a Super Bowl. With the other one, there's no possibility of a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it's not giving you a possibility with the second Super Bowl. It's just saying you rebuild. So I go with the first one.
So you'd rather them make the playoffs every year but get eliminated in the first round every time?
Yeah.
Rather than a guaranteed Super Bowl?
Yeah, because you're not saying anything after those 5 seasons. So we're just going to say it's 5 seasons for both of them.
Yeah, I guess there's equal outcomes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I expected those questions to be a lot better.
Me too.
But all right, brother. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Yeah. Let's do one more thing. I'm pretend like I'm just playing. What are Blake Baker's New Year's resolutions? Give me 3 of them for 2025. Well, first off, 1 through 10, and no lies. 1 through 10, how was your 2024? I will speak for you real quick. I'm going to give myself a solid 8. And while you're thinking, I'm going to go ahead and explain to people why it's an 8.
That's a very split down the middle question.
Okay. But hold on. I'm going to let you think, and I'm just going to go with mine real quick.
Okay.
So I'm going to give myself an 8. The reason being is I felt I did have some goals, and I felt like I reached those goals. And whatever those personal goals were that the public cannot find out. No, I'm just fucking with y'all. But what I'm saying is I feel like I can double down on those goals for next year. I feel like I got a good mindset as far as like reading a lot more. Another thing I've been doing a lot more, which is not like nothing to like celebrate on, but I always said like I want to tune in more to like TV, watch a little bit more TV shows. It really relaxes my mind. Did that. And yeah, other than that, of 2024, I would say I'm going to give my 2024 a solid 8. And this has been the best year in my 30s. And it has definitely been the best year out of the 2020s. 2023 was cool too, but 2024 was really, really good.
2023 for me was one of the best years of my life, easily.
Oh, awesome. Glad to hear
for
that.
my career, it was the best year I've ever had in real estate. I got married. I had a ton of fun trips, good times. I mean, it was an amazing year.
Okay, cool.
This year was completely different in that obviously the real estate market was very tough.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't do as well.
Yeah.
Just being human, it is frustrating when you're doing a certain level of work and you're getting a certain level of results.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you're doing the same amount of work, but you're getting half the results.
Yes.
I mean, it takes a toll on you mentally.
It does.
It's tough. My son was born.
Yes, your son was born.
The biggest life-changing event of my entire life.
Okay.
You learn what love is when you have kids, man. I mean, I've never had something to where I felt like now this is so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
So this was a very transformative year.
Okay.
Because it made me mentally tough because you have to adjust to, having a baby. You got to adjust. Like I was just saying, it's not all about you.
It's not about you no more.
That's a big adjustment. And then I know with real estate, I'm learning lessons right now that are going to make me a lot stronger. They're going to make me a better agent. They're going to make me a better business person in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's you could look at it as it was a 3 out of 10 because it was tough and it sucked.
No, I know you're a very honest person.
But then you could look at it as, hey, it was a 10 out of 10 because I'm going to come out of this so much better of a person.
Okay.
So I give it 8 out of 10.
Oh, nice.
Because of the lessons, because on the back end, it'll make me so much better.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
8 out of 10. Nice. Okay. 2025 will be the last thing. We'll wrap this up. Give me 3 New Year's resolutions.
So I'm not a resolutions guy.
Okay.
But I'll give you 3 things that I want to kind of steer towards.
Okay.
I'm making them up. I have one that's in my head that I'm ready to say, but then the other 2 I'll have to kind of make up. So just bear with me.
No, I'm bearing with you, man.
One is I want to do something with my life that is more fulfilling from a human standpoint. Maybe get involved with an organization or serve in a way. Do just something that fills the soul, right?
Okay.
Not concentrate so much on just business and money and success. And like, I want to do something bigger than myself and give back.
Yeah.
Another thing would be tweaking my business to be more efficient and to delegate more things to where I have time to where I don't get burnt out.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Burnout is a really rough one.
Yes, it is.
Because it can when your best foot isn't forward, which is inevitable when you're burnt out, things can slip up on you.
Yeah.
It's not good. So I want to tweak my business to where that doesn't happen.
Okay.
And then number 3, try to start traveling again. I mean, it's tough when you have a little one.
I'm with you on that, bro.
Because, dude, I mean, you could literally leave tonight.
I mean, I could. Oh, I'm leaving the casino again this weekend.
Yeah, there you go. Like I can't just go do that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, my goal would be to like travel, hopefully with them, get it to where he can come with us and do stuff. And,
yeah.
Cause like, for me, it's like, would she let me go to, wherever I want to go and do whatever I want to do? Yeah, she probably would, but do I need,
yeah.
like, that's not cool for me to just be like, peace,
yes.
So
yes.
It's a tough situation, but yeah, those 3.
Hold up on that note, because then we're gonna go reverse back. That's funny you'd said that because I had the wife of one of my best friends, and she was like, "Oh, he can go with y'all to the casino." I'm like, because we were gonna try and throw a surprise party for him, and we're like, he's not the type who's gonna say he's married, he's not and has kids. He's not the type who's gonna be all right. Peace, go to the casino. I'll come back. So I respect your answer on that because I wouldn't either.
Well, one of the other things is like if you go and you drink or something, like even like, okay, I'm gonna go out tonight, and she's like, yeah, go out, have fun.
Yeah,
bro. So when I went to the Rockets game the other night, had a couple drinks. And then the game didn't start till 8:30. So I didn't get home till 1 a.m. And like, I couldn't sleep. So I just stayed up. I was messing around in the garage. I got in bed at like 2:30. Little bro wakes up at 7. He don't care. And I'm going to do what I got to do. But it's, when you could just sleep off a hangover. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I have to really consider like I have to game plan and think about really weigh this out. Like, is this worth it? And 9 out of 10 times you end up landing at, no, it's not.
Yeah. I'm going to go with no particular order. I'm just going to put the 3 in. Number 1, definitely, I want to travel more because it was crazy. Because when I went, even though I just went to the casino for like a day and a half, 2 days or whatever, when I came back, I felt refreshed. And I'm like, this is the first time in a while. Because, I go to the casino, do this and that. But it's like, I don't really come back refreshed. But maybe I came back refreshed because the Packers won the Sunday Night Football game and won big money. But I did really, I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but I really did feel like refreshed. I'm like, okay, like I feel good. Like that was good. But yes, that's something that I do need to get back because I was doing it for a while. And then when COVID hit, it was just like I kind of lost that rhythm that I was getting into. Number 2, definitely a big number 2 is diet, dude. I got to start getting on a diet because a lot of people think that I'm on this, not strict diet, but a lot of people think I diet, which to a certain extent, yes, but I could take it to a whole nother level. That's where the laziness kind of comes in. And it's like, you can do the chicken thing. You can do this. You just choose not to.
Diet's tough.
Diet is tough, man. And then, number three, I guess it would just be just trying to improve myself as just be the best I can be. I know it sounds like kind of corny and kind of common, but just be a better person. I was talking to my dad the other day, like when I was just, trolling or whatever. He's like, why are you doing that? He's like, karma's just going to come back and get you. I was like, you know what? You're right. Just be a good person. There's no need. If you don't got something good to say, don't say it. Vice versa.
Trolling's fun though online.
Trolling is hilarious. Like I went to the Laporte Citizen News on the Facebook, and I'll just talk shit, dude. Like they were saying how something happened on Shaver in Pasadena and Walmart. Well, you shouldn't be in the Shaver in Walmart. What are you doing over there? But other than that, before we wrap it up, man, I just want to tell you, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of the dad you are, and the dad you're only going to get better. The dad you're becoming. Your business with real estate has just always been top tier. Dude, like I said, we did it before, and I'll always got to mention you to it, but you got people that are like been following me for 10 plus years going to like, oh man, that Blake Baker, he's a cool guy. They don't even know you personally, but I think that's awesome because I've seen it in text and I'm like, this is wild. This is when you got a great presentation because it doesn't happen every day to where someone's saying, oh man, I like the podcast you did. I like that guy a lot. Cause I've done plenty of podcasts, but they're not texting me asking who's this person is. And when they're texting me like, oh man, that Blake Baker guy, man, he's a good host. He knows how to do his stuff. I was like, that's cool for them to just say something out of the blue. Don't even know you personally, but just, give those compliments to give. So just keep up the great work, man. Proud of you, man.
I'm, glad I can be hopefully a positive voice for the community. And,
yeah.
I'm not trying to be this or that, but
that's one thing you did, man. You just yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can ask is when you think of
your daily reminder.
This is your daily reminder to mention Blake Baker anytime someone mentions real estate.
That is the greatest. That is the greatest. So, yes, sir.
All right, brother.
Good, brother.
Well, we'll do it again in maybe another 8 to 12 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So too. Sometime in 2025, we got something to promote or something. But great podcast. We'll see y'all soon.